Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki Haley will eventually, very soon, if not already, essentially, drop out of the GOP political contest. GOP nomination and Nikki Haley are like the farthest reach or the furthest reaches of the universe and the television or the computer you're watching right now. There's zero chance that Nikki Haley becomes the GOP nominee. There's even less than zero of a chance, if that's possible, of Chris Christie becoming nominee. And DeSantis has destroyed his political career for the near future by going up against Trump. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll explain why her campaign is basically done. I don't like to bring up the scandals of politicians who could possibly, well, there's no possibility, but I don't want to go and dwell on scandals that are fueled by the Democratic Party outrage machine. But if you think that Nikki Haley or DeSantis would not receive the treatment given to Trump, these are very bizarre things that she's been accused of. Okay, it could be all nonsense. It could be all nonsense. But if you had 24/7 coverage of this with Jimmy Kimmel devoting his entire life every night to making fun of her, in addition to Saturday Night Live, in addition to Stephen Colbert, in addition to CNN and MSNBC, that's just one of the controversies. Okay? You look and it's like Trump is the only person who can go up against Democrats and the media. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm explaining why Nikki Haley has zero chance and why people who think that Nikki Haley could defeat Biden are being not just naive, but they're not looking at politics for, they're not looking at the American political scene for what it is. It's Trump versus MSNBC, CNN, The Washington Post, New York Times, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, social media algorithms, intel agency officials that don't like Trump. All of those people will be leveled against Nikki Haley or DeSantis or Chris Christie or anyone else. And if you look, he's 50 plus points ahead of Haley. So 40 plus points, around 40 points. And 50 points in one poll, or most of the polls about 50 points or more than 50 points. In one poll, 60 points ahead. So hit subscribe to this channel to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. The super thanks is below, next to the like and the share buttons. The super thanks is below as well. Or my Patreon is below, sorry. But you look, and it's like there's zero chance in terms of the GOP nomination, even if Trump is convicted 3 times, and he will be, unfortunately, because Democrats are going after their political rival, which is what they accuse Trump of doing. None of the, if they cared so much about the rule of law, people like Hunter and even Joe would have already been indicted. They don't care. Hillary also, with private servers that nobody knows how obtained classified data. There's a difference between Mar-a-Lago and having classified data as a president who declassified the data, and servers for 4 years holding classified intelligence and top secret intelligence. Nobody knows how they got onto those servers. I think Hillary Clinton, by the way, will be the 24 nominee. Okay, so you're talking about serious crimes. Democrats don't care about classified data or criminal activity or lying. They do all of that all the time. What they care about is knocking Trump out, and guess what? Trump is defeating Biden by 1.7 points. Okay? No disrespect to Nikki Haley, but no one's going to want to hear Nikki Haley or especially Chris Christie or even DeSantis speak. DeSantis might draw a crowd. DeSantis might draw a crowd. He is popular in Florida. Okay? But nobody wants a traditional Republican. Haley is a traditional Republican. The reason that I wouldn't vote for a never Trump or traditional Republican, even though I'm conservative on a lot of things nowadays, most things, okay, especially the Second Amendment, in foreign policy, being conservative on foreign policy now, or I should say, I like Trump's foreign policy, bringing home Americans from never-ending military conflict. May 1st, 2021 was the withdrawal, not a haphazard withdrawal in the summer, leaving billions in armament. But the Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, which were paradigm changing, and we see what's taking place now with Biden. Foreign affairs, foreign policy is a catastrophe. How on earth could any Democrat or even never Trump Republican say that this life under Biden is better than the foreign policy and domestic policy, or I should say economic policy under Trump? We had record low poverty with Trump. We had record highs in household median income. And we had a foreign policy that was not the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld. Speaking of Cheney, Liz Cheney voted alongside Trump 90+% of the time in Congress. Even Romney voted with Trump like 70+%, something like that. These people who don't like Trump usually either almost all the time or usually vote alongside Trump because this all media. And the only people like Tucker Carlson, Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump, they don't need media, okay? Hollywood celebrities pay millions to publicity firms, to public relations firms, okay? Trump doesn't need a public relations firm. Does he make it difficult for himself? Yeah, he makes it difficult for himself, sure, okay? Here and there. Does he bring on the attention? Yeah. But they would do the exact same thing with Haley. They would accuse her of everything under the sun and investigate Haley DeSantis, Chris Christie. Okay, all of them. They would level state and federal courts against Republican nominees. They're doing it against Trump, and it's not just because Trump performed a speech in January or hush money payment. These are things that what they've done. See, the FEC fined Clinton, not Trump, but Trump is indicted in New York. That's how things work. The Steele dossier was an FEC violation, but they went after and indicted Trump. Okay, that's how things work. People think that Trump brings this upon himself, and that he's too controversial, and he brings all of this upon himself. That's not entirely true. It's actually not accurate at all. What Democrats have found is a game plan, a rubric, a roadmap. If Trump is up 1.7, with being indicted 3 different times, if Haley or DeSantis were indicted for things they didn't do like Trump, they wouldn't be up. Trump is not a traditional Republican that would send Americans off to never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. So we're going to explain this very slowly to the never-Trumpers and to the wonderful, highly educated, morally superior liberals. Okay? The Democratic Party and the old Republican Party never saw a military conflict, and the Democrats never see a military conflict that they don't want to send Americans to or fund forever. I'm actually for funding certain issues, but not forever. Okay? Not forever. It's been over a year now. Well over a year. Actually, going on 2 years now in Europe. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the foreign affairs, the foreign policy catastrophes going on right now, okay, especially the atrocities against the country I had my bar mitzvah in, okay, would not have happened with Trump. None of this would have happened with Trump because there's a completely different foreign policy paradigm with Trump. Completely different. And there's a completely different economic policy. We would have had a much better economy. An economy that's functioning. Not an economy barely, like with smoke and mirrors, looking good to some people. With interest rates through the roof. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Haley, DeSantis, they're all going to end their campaign, drop out. It's just a matter of time. Hit subscribe. Thank you.